Glamorgan easily batted out the last day of their LV County Championship match with Gloucestershire in Bristol, in the end the only winner being the batting-friendly pitch. The Welshmen started the last day on 88 without loss in their second innings, which had them 37 runs behind, and the only way for there to be a game here was if the home team could add to the early wicket of James Kettleborough, who was LBW to Tom Smith for 34. 9 overs later, David Payne removed Jacques Rudolph in the same way, after the batsman had added 13 to his overnight 56. He left with his side on 124 for 2, 1 run behind, and the door to Gloucestershire had been opened ever so slightly, but not for long. Fresh from his career best 98 in the first innings, Aaron Donald looked full of confidence, while Colin Ingram also produced the kind of shots that showed that no batsman had anything to fear, even against the spinners on this last day pitch. Gloucestershire did grab a third wicket in the morning, Donald on 35, seemingly forgetting that Hamish Marshall was hovering at mid-wicket to be run out by the Kiwi. Glamorgan lunched on 191 for 3 for a lead of 61, and Ingram ensured that door now remained firmly shut. This single off Tom Hampton had the South African at his 50 off 110 balls, an innings containing 5 fours and 1 6. It was a breeze for him really, this surface seemingly not wearing at all throughout this contest. Batsmen would have been itching to have a go out in the middle. Chris Cook wanted to make sure that he made the most of his opportunity. He went on the attack, hitting Smith for this 6. Before taking on Benny Howell in the next over, 3 fours being struck in that, the second of which had Cook at his half-century off his 76th delivery. He'd hit 1 6 and 7 fours, but this was just a start for the 29-year-old, who must have sensed his chance to get to just a third first-class 100 in his career. On a lovely, very late summer's day, playing under almost cloudless skies, Ingram and Cook went into the last session of the season, both with one thing on their minds, and that was to get 2-3 figures. This match well and truly over as a contest by this stage. The race was on to see which one of the two would get there first, and it was Cook who moved ahead after he deposited Jack Taylor over the rope for his second 6. The two then matched each other shot for shot, both men moving into the 90s at pretty much the same time, although Cook had faced only around half the amount of deliveries than his more experienced partner. And it was Cook that won the race 2-3 figures, a cut of Chris Dent, taking him to his 100 off 135 balls, that being his 12th 4 to go with his pair of 6s. Hundreds have been few and far between in Cook's career, so he would have thoroughly enjoyed this moment, even if it had been a rather simple task as it turned out. In the next over, with Will Tavares giving himself a rare spell, Ingram hit his 11th 4 to get to his century of a more patient 220 deliveries. It was the 12th of his first-class career. The game was ended at the end of the same over, with the Welshman finishing on 365 for 3. So it was a rather dull end to the season in Bristol. The home support still glowing though, after last week's one-day victory at Lord's. Gloucestershire took 13 points to their opponent's 12, and that left the home team in 6th in the table, and Glamorgan in 4th after they rather slipped up in the second half of what had hitherto been a very promising campaign for them.